Hey everyone, throwaway account here. This is a story I never thought I'd share, but after everything that happened, I feel like I have to. Maybe it will sound unbelievable, but every single word is true. I used to live in what I thought was a nice, quiet suburban neighborhood. Families riding bikes, kids selling lemonade in the summer, barbecues on the weekends. The American dream. Except my next door neighbors, Jason and Kelly. At first, they seemed perfectly normal. They were a young couple, no kids, both worked jobs that kept them out late. They were friendly enough, waved when I moved in, even brought over a six-pack of beer once as a welcome to the neighborhood gesture. I actually thought we'd get along, but soon the mask came off. Jason loved to throw parties. At first I didn't mind. I figured, hey, they're young. Let them enjoy themselves. But those little parties turned into all-night ragers. Cars lined both sides of the street, blocking my driveway. Beer bottles rolled into my yard. At 3 a.m., I'd hear screaming matches, thumping bass, and people vomiting in my bushes. The first time I went over to politely ask them to turn the music down, Jason opened the door with a drink in his hand and a smirk on his face. If you don't like it, he said, move. Then he slammed the door in my face. That was the start of my personal nightmare. The harassment escalated quickly. Every time I parked my car, I'd find new scratches down the side by morning. My mailbox smashed 3 different times. Packages I ordered mysteriously vanished from my porch. And Kelly wasn't any better. Whenever I stepped outside to mow my lawn or take out the trash, she'd yell across the fence, "Loser! Nobody likes you. Why don't you just sell that dump already?" Sometimes she'd film me on her phone, laughing, saying she was documenting the crazy neighbor. I called the police many times, but without proof, nothing stuck. Jason would always come up with some excuse. We were inside all night, or that scratch must have happened somewhere else. The cops began treating me like I was paranoid. Are you sure it's them? They'd ask. One even suggested maybe it was kids from the next block. It got to the point where I couldn't sleep. I'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the next crash, the next scream, the next act of destruction. I started to dread coming home. My house, which should have been my safe place, felt like a trap. I seriously considered selling and leaving. But something inside me snapped. No more running. If they wanted war, they were going to get it. So I changed my approach. I bought cameras, not the cheap, obvious ones. Discreet, motion-activated cameras I hid in my yard, on my porch, even one angled perfectly at my driveway. I spent hours setting them up so Jason and Kelly wouldn't notice. And then I waited. The truth started pouring in almost immediately. The first clip I got, Jason, stumbling drunk across my lawn at midnight, unzipping his pants and urinating all over my flowers. He laughed to himself while doing it. Then came Kelly, crouching by my car in the middle of the night, keying the side door while giggling. The camera caught her face clearly, her smirk lit up by the porch light. The worst part was seeing them together. One video showed both Jason and Kelly walking up to my porch in broad daylight, looking around, then snatching a package and running back to their garage. They opened it right there, ripping it apart like greedy children. But the darkest moment came 2 weeks later. Jason, drunk again, stumbling around the side of my house. He went straight to my back door, pulled on the handle, and started trying to force it open. My camera caught every second, his face, his hands, even him muttering, "Come on, come on." That was the moment I realized this wasn't just harassment. This was dangerous. I compiled everything. Hours of footage, dozens of clips. Time-stamped, clear, undeniable. I could have gone straight to the police with it, but I didn't want to just stop them quietly. I wanted Jason and Kelly to feel what they had made me feel for years. Humiliated, exposed, cornered. So I waited. Our neighborhood has a monthly HOA meeting at the community center. Everyone comes. Families, the board, even the local cop who lives 2 streets over. Jason and Kelly always showed up too, pretending to be good neighbors, smiling and joking like nothing was wrong. This time, I came prepared. When the floor opened for community concerns, I stood up. My hands were shaking, my heart pounding, but I said, I have something I need to show everyone. I plugged in my laptop to the projector. The first video rolled. Jason drunk, stumbling onto my lawn, unzipping and pissing on my flowers. The room went dead silent. Then came the horrified gasps. Someone muttered, "Oh my God." Next clip, Kelly crouched by my car, dragging her keys down the paint with a grin on her face. People in the room audibly gasped. And then, the package thefts. The video showed Jason and Kelly carrying boxes off my porch, laughing as they tore them open in their garage. That's when neighbors started recognizing their own packages. One woman shot out of her chair and shouted, "That was my kid's birthday present." Finally, I played the footage of Jason at my back door, yanking the handle, clearly trying to break in. You could hear his drunken mumbling on the audio. Silence fell, then whispers, then outright shouting. Jason's face turned crimson. Kelly started crying, whispering, "This isn't fair! This isn't fair!" The HOA president turned to the cop sitting in the back. "Officer, are you seeing this?" The cop stood up and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Oh, I'm more than seeing this. I'll be following up immediately." The fallout was brutal. Jason was arrested for attempted burglary and theft. Kelly was charged for vandalism and theft too. Their landlord, yes, they were just renting, evicted them within weeks. Words spread fast. Nobody wanted to deal with them anymore. Jason lost his job within days. Kelly's boss let her go too after hearing about the charges. Their so-called friends stopped answering their calls. The people who once partied with them now crossed the street to avoid them. Within a month, they were gone, forced to leave town like disgraced criminals. As for me, for the first time in years, I had peace. Neighbors I barely spoke to before came up to thank me for exposing them. One even baked me cookies and said, "We all knew they were trouble, but we didn't know it was this bad." I sat on my porch that night, the air finally quiet, and realized I had won. Jason and Kelly thought they could make me the crazy neighbor, the one no one would believe. Instead, I made sure everyone saw the truth, and they'll never live it down.